Shalom, this is Yah is Magnified, and I'm back with another informative video. Today's video is titled, Child Support is Not for the Child. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, I would like for you all to hit that like button. And also, if you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And also hit that notification bell so you all can be notified as I'm dropping these powerful videos. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so I was just strolling on YouTube, checking out child support videos, just doing my regular due diligence, trying to stay up to date with certain things that's been taking place in child support. When I run across this video, okay? This video has upset me to the point that I was highly upset, man. I was heated watching this video, okay? It clearly pissed me off. So I said, you know what? Let me make a video about this for the individuals who are in this same situation. They get better understanding of what's going on, and they will know how to stop these people in their tracks from proceeding forward, okay? The title of this video, as you all can see upper right hand corner, is titled Child Support is Not for the Child, okay? So just because this video was titled that, I also titled my video that. So whoever watched this video, hopefully they see my video, and it'll pop up in the algorithm so people get better understanding of what's going on. For them get right understanding and right learning about this situation, what should be done if you're in this situation, okay? Now, let's play the video.
And stuff like that. Yes, sir. That's not what child support is for. And I know everybody thinks that child support is for the child. But child support is not for the child.
You guys heard that. The alleged judge, or should I say the acting judge, clearly states that child support is not for the child. Same thing I've been telling you all. Child support is not for the child. Child support is what? To benefit the state. Child support is simply a recuperation of taxpayer funds. There's so many case laws that explains that. It's even written in the Federal Manual of Child Support. Child support is a recuperation of taxpayer funds. It's not to benefit the family. It's simply there to benefit the public. The one that's doing what? The one that's offering the assistance. That's why it's called public assistance, guys. Okay? But let's continue on.
We do have a temporary order that establishes paternity. I think it establishes a conservatorship and a visitation schedule. And it does establish child support.
All right, let's stop right there. So there's already a temporary order in place, okay? The temporary order establishes what? Custody, joint conservatorship, and child support, okay? He should have immediately objected to that temporary order, okay? I'm pretty sure he didn't, but he had to in order for him to go before this acting judge right here, okay? But let's continue on. Let's continue listening in, guys. Oh, yeah, and as I was stating that, we know that once paternity is established, that allegedly what? Creates the legal duty of support, all right? But let's continue on.
$327 per month in child support, $38 per month in medical support with Ms. Fuentes to provide the health insurance. I believe both parties are here today asking child support be set, and I'll take testimony from the parties on that issue.
Okay, so you heard what he said. Both parents are there today that child support be set. Now, let's see if that is true. Let's see if both parents are there to set child support, or are both parents there to not receive child support. We're going to see the truth. Let's continue listening.
Make sure they're joint managing conservators, I take it? I believe that's correct. I'm pulling up that order now. Yes, they're appointed joint managing conservator.
Okay, so joint management conservator is simply legal custody, okay? That's the status for legal custody, meaning that both parties have both parties have equal rights when it comes to making decisions on behalf of the child, okay? There's two forms of custody. There's legal custody and there's physical custody, okay? Physical custody is time sharing, meaning that if you have joint physical custody, that means that you have the child equally, either 1 week on or 1 week off, or every other day, or it's going to be even throughout that year, okay? Usually it's 1 week on, 1 week off. The child's with the father 1 week, then the child's with the mother the next week, then the child's back with the father 1 week, then the child's back with the mother the next week. That's joint physical custody, okay? The custody that he's referring to is legal custody, meaning that they only have joint decision making, okay? So they like to give the father less custody because that also establishes what? The legal duty of support. Once they limit the time sharing of the father that places the father on child support. But let's continue on.
Standard visitation.
It looks like it was a phased-in period of possession.
Has there been any family violence?
There wasn't a non-disclosure order in the temporary orders.
Why was there a non-disclosure if there was no family?
I said there was not.
There was not. Okay.
Okay, so the first thing the judge tried to do is establish that there was some form of family violence. Okay, that's another tactic that they use in order to separate the family. Okay, that's why it's called the what? The support division or the family division, because they're there to do what? To divide the families. Okay, but the attorney general stated that there was no violence. Okay, so there's no violence. Neither one of them want child support. So why are they even talking to Judge Collins when they shouldn't be speaking to him at all? But let's continue on.
All right, you may proceed.
State would start by calling the father, Mr. Ormond. Mr. Ormond, are you in agreement with the terms of the temporary order being made final? Mr. Ormond, are you in agreement with the terms of the temporary order being made final?
Yes, sir.
So including child support, medical support, all of that? I'll pass the witness.
All right.
State would call the mother, Ms. Fuentes. Ms. Fuentes, are you in agreement with the terms of the temporary order being made final?
Yeah.
I guess I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Obviously, there was something that we're not agreeing with.
Okay, so the way the attorney general asked the question, they both said that they agree, okay? Which is simply not true. The judge about to get to the bottom of it right now, and we're going to see that, yes, there was a mistake. But let's continue on.
That was unagreed, and the reason we're here. So, Mr. Ormond, are you agreeing that you're going to pay child support of $327 a month?
Agree.
I'm sorry?
I disagree.
You just agreed to it a minute ago. Now you're disagreeing. Is that what you're telling me?
I couldn't hear you because he was breaking up.
Okay. All right.
Me and Fuentes came to an agreement on that we'll work on our child support through me and her instead of through the system.
What does that mean?
That's their agreement. They came to an agreement. They have a right to agree in the private that what? They take care of their child the best way they see fit if they want to go in there and speak to the judge, okay? So the judge is now trying to separate them. But let's continue on. But as you all can see, Brother Almond, he simply stated that they already have an agreement between them two that they're going to take care of their child the best way they see fit outside of the court or the judicial system and the Child Support Enforcement Agency. But let's continue on.
You and her are going to work on your child support. What does that mean?
We came to an agreement that there won't be no child support.
Oh, okay. And why is that? Why no child support?
Because, I just support my child throughout without the help of y'all.
What do you do without the help of us?
And it wasn't even supposed to even be about child support. I don't even know what they're paying me in it.
Well, child support is a part of every one of these orders.
Yes, sir, I know, but I didn't know nothing about the child support order, and she claimed she didn't leave it.
Okay,
so basically they went to court for another reason. But the lower court judge, or probably the support magistrate, entered an order of support as well with the temporary order that they went to court for something totally different. And they're going to explain what they went to court for originally. But let's continue on.
You said that you and her have an agreement. What is the agreement that y'all have?
That we parenting and do everything as we should as a parent instead of coming through this that we doing.
Well, he does provide for her.
Miss Fuentes, tell me what is y'all's agreement?
Okay, so basically he does support Zari. So he does, whenever I need something, he does provide. So if I need milk, if she needs clothes, whatever the child needs, he does provide.
How old is baby?
She's a year.
1 year.
Yes, so he does provide diapers and milk and clothes.
And stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's not what child support is for.
Okay, so now, hold on. Let's stop right there before he starts speaking any further. Once they came to an agreement, okay, it's the court's duty to enforce the agreement. Why? Because they removed the controversy before the court. Courts only have subject matter jurisdiction over controversy. Once there is no controversy, this court clearly lost subject matter jurisdiction, and the judge can only enforce or dismiss the case because there is no controversy before it. But what this judge trying to do is continue to make it seem as though there's some form of controversy in order for him to establish a support order against Mr. Almond. And it's just that simple, okay? But let's continue on, guys. Let's continue breaking this thing down.
Child support is for the child. But child support is not for the child. Child support is for the benefit of the child. The child has to live somewhere, doesn't it?
Okay, so pause right there. This brother just said child support is for the benefit of the child. Even if that is true, in this situation, if I was Brother Armand, I would have simply asked the judge, but when I go to court, I don't argue nothing back and forth with nobody. But if I was the brother at this time, knowing what I know now, and if I was acting in his capacity, then I would simply ask him, okay, so if it's for the benefit of the child, then what benefits are the state providing to the child? If the state is not providing no benefits to the child and the child is not receiving any benefits, then the state still loses what? Subject matter jurisdiction, because guess what? The child is not receiving any benefits. Okay? In order for the child to receive child support, there must be some form of benefit. Okay? The mother must go down and apply for food stamps, let's say food stamps, insurance, or any other type of state issued public benefit. Okay, to further prove that, let's go to the definition of what a benefit is. Let's go there. Okay, so now as you all can see on the screen, we are in fact come from the Black Laws Dictionary for the term benefit. But for the sake of time, we're just going to pick it up where it's highlighted at, okay? You all can stop and read the top paragraph if you like, but the second paragraph applies to the situation at hand. And it's highlighted in yellow, and it reads what? A benefit is simply what? Financial assistance received in the time of what? Sickness, disability, unemployment, etc. Either from what? Insurance or what? Public programs such as Social Security. Child support falls underneath what? Public assistance, right? Which is also what? A public program that's underneath what? The Social Security Act. Okay? So his question to the judge is, okay, so if you're saying it's for the child's benefit, then what benefit is the child receiving underneath the state program in order for the state to issue child support against them? There is no benefit. The child is not receiving health insurance. The child's mom is not receiving Section 8. The child's mom is not receiving food stamps, and the child's mom is not receiving Social Security or no type of public assistance. So because the child's mother is not receiving any form of public assistance at all, then the child doesn't receive benefits because the child doesn't need any benefits because the father's doing what? His diligence and his duty already. And it's just that simple, guys. But the judge is playing mind games because the judge knows that he simply doesn't know. That's why I tell you guys, it's imperative that you all study. Study to show thyself approved. And it's just that simple, guys. Okay, but now let's go back to the video. So now we see that when he says for the benefit of the child must be receiving some form of a benefit. Okay? Such as what? Healthcare insurance, food stamps, Section 8, which is housing, or Social Security, or some form of assistance from the state in order for the child to receive this thing called child support, or in order for the father to be obligated to pay this thing called child support. And it's just that simple, guys. So now let's go back again to the video. Let's go there. All right, so now we're back at the video. Let's continue to break this thing down. Let's continue listening in.
Why no child support?
Because I can support my child throughout without the help of y'all.
What do you do without the help of us?
And it wasn't even supposed to even be about child support. I don't even know what they're paying me in it.
Well, child support is a part of every one of these orders.
Yes, sir, I know, but I didn't know nothing about the child support order, and she claimed she didn't either.
Okay, so you said that you and her have an agreement. What is the agreement that y'all have?
That we're parenting and do everything as we should as a parent instead of coming to this that we're going through.
Well, he does provide for her.
Miss Fuentes, tell me what is y'all's agreement?
Okay, so basically he does support Zari. So he does, whenever I need something, he does provide. So if I need milk, if she needs clothes, whatever the child needs, he does provide.
How old is baby?
She's a year.
1 year.
Yes, so he does provide diapers and milk and clothes.
And stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's not what child support is for. And I know everybody thinks that child support is for the child, but child support is not for the child. Child support is for the benefit of the child.
His response right then is, okay, so what benefit is the state providing to the child that requires me to be obligated to pay child support to the state? There is none, because the child is not receiving no form of benefits. And it's just that simple. But let's continue on. As I stated earlier, let's continue on.
To live somewhere, doesn't it?
She does.
That means that somebody's either paying a house note or paying rent or something, right?
So the judge rebuttal to that is the child have to live somewhere. That means that somebody's paying what? A mortgage, a house note or something. Okay, even if somebody is paying a mortgage, a house note or something, That's not a benefit. That's considered to be a liability. A mortgage is a liability. A house note is a liability. So where's the benefit is that? Is the state paying for the mortgage on the house note? If they're not, then they're still not receiving benefits from the state. If the state was paying for the mortgage on the house note through the public assistance program or the Section 8 program, then the judge may have a little standing right there. But if you know what I know, that wouldn't even stand. But let's continue on. Let's continue.
All right, the child has to have transportation, it has to be moved from one place to another. That means there's a possibility somebody has to make a car payment.
Okay.
All
right, so let's pause it right there. He said that the car have to go from place to place, so that means there have to be a car payment. A car note is also considered to be a what? A liability. Where is the benefit in that? Is the state paying for the car note? No. So it's none of their business how the child gets around. We're not asking the state to pay for it. The state is not paying for the car. The state is not offering a benefit or some form of privilege to pay towards this car. No, they're not. So because they don't, the state doesn't have interest in how I get around or how my child get around, because we're not asking you to provide benefits for said child to get around. And it's just that simple. So he's naming liabilities and trying to put them off as if they are what? Benefits, when they are simply not. The judge is very crafty. That's why, man, if I was this guy, I would have made this judge like a complete idiot in court, man. If y'all know him, send this man my video and tell him, if I get a client that's coming to you, oh, you're going to be in for a rude awakening, man. I'm trying to tell you. But let's continue on.
Somebody.
We lost him. Yeah, he works offshore, and so he's on the boat right now. So his service is a little sketchy.
Let me see if he can get back in. Because what I'm saying is really for his benefit more so than for yours.
No, I get what you're saying. And if I can kind of give you a little quick background on the situation, it's more so putting him on the birth certificate.
He's coming back.
Okay. Are
you back, Mr. Armin?
See, he's basically still trying to cut her off to get the point out that the whole purpose of this was to just put him on the birth certificate. She did not never want support from this man. But let's continue on.
There he is. Unmute yourself, Mr. Armin. All right, go on, give me the background you was going to give me, Ms. Fuentes.
So essentially, I had started out with applying for Medicaid because I had let the period expire for me to add the baby onto Medicaid. So essentially, he's not on her birth certificate. So I had the social worker when I did the interview and stuff. And so at that time, he was like, well, she's basically telling me that at that time, I told her I got a new job and I was able to put her on my private, so I didn't need the Medicaid anymore. So she was just like, you can add.
All right, so she simply said what? She got a new job, so she removed the child from Medicaid and put the child on her what? Her private insurance. Once the child is on private insurance, it removes the what? The public burden or the public obligation. So because the public no longer has an obligation or even interest in this matter, then there's no way that this guy should be paying child support because the child is not receiving no form of benefits. The child is on the child's mom, private insurance, and it's just that simple, guys. But this judge is just simply wicked, man. He's wicked, and he knows he's wrong for what he's doing, man. But his day will come. Judgment will be placed on him, like the same judgment he placed on other people. Judgment will be placed on him when he stand before the great throne judgment, before the Most High, and he got the answer to these things that he's done to these innocent people out here and putting burdens on these men's life like that. But let's continue on. You can, since I got my own insurance or whatever, to add him to the birth certificate, I had to go through the AOG. So I just said, okay. And so also, we live in 2 different states. And I didn't want it either once that he got onto the birth certificate that he could just freely come and get her because we were at odds at that time. And so I just said I wanted to put some kind of order. At least in California, you're able to put, get him on the birth certificate and put an order in California where you have some kind of agreement, to custody. And since she's so little, I didn't want her to leave my side or leave the state of Texas. So without me. And so with that being said, that's where that came from. Once child support came, I just said I wasn't really interested in child support. But because we had a little back and forth going on, I was like, okay, well, since we're already here, and I spoke to the last lady, she was like, well, the judge basically said it would be, good to put the child support. At that time, I said I wasn't interested in the child support, but they still did the temporary order. So you guys hear that? At that time, they still trying to force her to take child support. She said she's not interested in it. She just wanted to establish custody. That's why I tell you, men, do not go down to these courts and apply for custody. The moment you do, you're setting yourself up for failure, okay? Do not apply for custody. You have a right to your child. If you're on a birth certificate, you have a right to your child just as much as you have a right to your child. Y'all have equal playing field of that child. No one has more custody of the child than the next person. Okay? So don't go down there and petition the court for custody. There's no need to do that. Okay? If the child's mom don't want you to see the child, oh well, that's her loss. And it's just that simple. You don't go down there making a fuss and bringing these people into your life. The moment you do that, then you give them the right to what? Make judgments and rulings for you or against you. Okay, so just because you go down there and apply for custody doesn't mean that the judge is going to rule in your favor. 9 times out of 10, he's going to rule outside of your favor and against you, and it's just that simple. But let's continue.
And at the same token, you know, I was just like, okay, it didn't really make a difference because he supports Azari. He gives me money for her meal, gives me money for diapers, gives me money for whatever Azari needs, he supplies. While I was on maternity leave, he did pay. You know, he did assist on, you know, paying myself on bail and did, you know, assist on, you know, my rent while I was off on disability.
So look at the judge. He's so mad that she's speaking up for him. How can one black brother treat the next black man whose child's mom is clearly telling him that he supports his child? This judge is wicked, man. This judge is completely wicked, man. But this acting judge is wicked. He's not a judge. He's acting as a judge. When he clock out, he's no longer a judge. He's only a judge on the clock. So if you ever go to a child support court case and they tell you that child support is not commercial, then you say, okay, well, are you getting paid this under the bench? Are you not doing a job? You're acting as a judge. You're not a judge once you clock out. Once you clock out, you're a regular civilian. You're only a judge when you're on the clock. You're getting paid to do a job. You are acting in commerce as a judge. Everything is commercial, guys, and it's just that simple. Let's continue, though.
That's
Not
good.
taking for him.
That's wonderful. Now, Mr. Orman, I can't see you and you're muted. Well, like I was saying earlier, I hope you can hear me. Child support is for the benefit of the child, not for the child. I know everybody thinks as long as I buy milk and that sort of thing, then I'm doing my part. You're not doing your part. Your part is to do all that the child needs. Now, I know both of y'all have some agreement that you've reached and you feel that Mr. Orman is a good man and he is doing his part.
So he said that the support the child is to do what? All that the child needs. Well, he could have simply said, okay, well, the child needs to be with his father 50% of the time, like he's with his mother 50% of the time. That's only equal. And it's just that simple. It should be 50-50 no matter what. If you talk about supporting the child, okay, so the child needs a father just as much as he needs a mother. 50-50. I need him every other weekend, or I get him for 2 weekends, she get him for 2 weekends. Or I get her for 2 weekends, she get her for 2 weekends. That's equal. That's what the child needs. If according to him, if it's what the child needs, then the child needs both parents equally. And there's no reason why that shouldn't be taking place, because the brother clearly works on the ship. He works for 2 weeks on and he works for 2 weeks off. His 2 weeks off, he should have his child. His 2 weeks on, she should have the child. And it's just that simple. If he want to talk about equal, but he's not talking about equal. He's talking about finding a way that the state can get their greasy claws in his pocket to try to take more money from him. And it's just that simple.
That is enough. However, I'm going to order that he pay child support of $327 a month and cash medical of $38 per month. Either one of you have any additional questions? Now's the time.
Would that payment go through you guys, or he would
No,
have to
ma'am.
give me
Child
that
support
directly?
goes to you.
Okay, and it would just
Now,
be
what
like
you
from
can
his
do-
hands to my hands?
No, ma'am. It goes through the registry. It goes through Senate.
So you see that? Child support goes to you. Did she ask the judge, do it go from his hands to my hands? No, it goes through the registry. Well, it's not coming through me. The reason why it's going through the registry, because he know, like we all know, that the state receives 66% funding for each dollar they collect. So that's why they're doing it. It's a business transaction. That's all it is. These people care less about the child and the best interest of the child. Because if we cared about the interest of the child, you would have told her, well, since that's the case, then we're just going to have him, on his 2 weeks off, he have the child. And when he go back to work for his 2 weeks, you have the child. And it'll be that simple. That's it. But it's not about that. It's about a financial gain from the state. Why? To benefit, again, the public. Okay? That's all it's for. To benefit the public, a.k.a. the taxpayers. That's it. But let's continue.
Antonio, and then to you. And the reason for that is so that we can keep up with how much he's paying, when he paid it. If you want to, every month, once you get that check, you can get it back to him if you want to. You don't have to get it. You don't have to receive it if you don't want to receive it. I'm ordering it because...
You heard what he just said. After you receive the check, you can give it back to them. You don't have to keep it. Why? Because they just want to get their percentage cut out the check. That's it. They care less what she do with her percentage. They just want their percentage. That's it. That's all. Let's continue.
Every child is entitled to be supported by both parents, the father as well as the mother, not just diapers and not just milk. You're muted, Mr. Armand. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself, then I might be able to hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me
you
now?
now. Yeah.
Okay, it's more than just diapers and milk that I don't help her with. I mean, when she needs something, that I help her with it.
No, it doesn't work like that. She shouldn't have to ask you for anything. That's what child support gives: independence to both sides. It frees you from someone calling and asking you all the time for stuff. It frees her from having to basically beg you for stuff. So
he simply stated that that's for her to not have to beg him for anything. But instead, you want her to go down to the state and beg y'all for it. Because if I was that man, I wouldn't get him a dime. Believe me, when I was in that situation, they wouldn't get nothing from me. Yes. Man, shit. I quit. Get all that. Yeah. Hey, like you taking care of her, the state will take care of me. You want to arrest me if I was on that? You try to arrest me, man, I will sit as long as I could. Because I'm going to get free food and boarding too. Hey, the state giving out assistance, Audie. Hey, you want to take care of ward? I'll become a ward. I'll send it to a block and get paid. Hey, get free food and all that, free cost of living and stuff like that, if that's what they want to do. And it's just that simple. But I'm not paying you a dime. And it's just that simple. I would tell that dude right in his face, I'm not paying you a dime. In that case, how about you come and get it from me? I bet you want to come and get it. And it's just that simple. Let's finish.
no, I'm ordering the child support. I'm sorry?
Well,
I
could
couldn't
child
hear you.
support just go on paper instead of going through the
No,
San Antonio?
it's not going to be just on paper. They're going to take the money out of his paycheck. No. Okay? Now, both of you have the right to appeal this if you believe it's unfair, arbitrary, capricious, or you just don't like it. This is our...
Did you guys hear that? You have a right to appeal. Okay? You don't have to go to federal court or none of that other nonsense people are telling you, man. File your appeals. Challenge it in a higher court. Fight the good fight, man. Don't let these people intimidate you. And if you even lose your appeal, still fight the good fight. It's never over with it if you know what you're doing. Okay? They'll get tired. They will get tired when they don't receive nothing. They will get tired. Okay? And it's just that simple. Don't pay them a dime. 1 red cent, man. It's just that simple. Don't give them 1 penny.
The 255th District Court, you have 3 working days in which to appeal to that court. That court will give you what's called a trial de novo. That'll allow you to tell the story over again, and then that court will make an independent decision as to what it believes is fair and just.
Okay, so he's a lower court acting judge. He don't really have no authority. But once you petition the court for a trial de novo, it's simply a redo. It's gonna go before a judge that's slightly higher than this support magistrate right here, who's acting as a judge at the current moment. He really don't have no real authority. Only thing they had to do is go back into the courtroom and say, we no longer want their services. They're gonna throw it out, have him come back down and re-sign an order stating that the case is thrown out. Okay? That's the shortcut of the whole video. But him trying to abuse his authority against people who don't know, that's the worst. The Bible tells us, guys, that my people perish for lack of knowledge. Because you despise knowledge, I despise thee. Therefore, get knowledge, man. And when getting knowledge, get wisdom. And in all that getting, get understanding, guys. Understand what's going on. That's why I keep telling you guys. Understand what's going on. Don't overstand. Understand. Okay? Understand what's going on. Let's continue.
Every court is going to order child support because we believe that it's fair and just that both parents should support the child.
Okay, I have one more question. What if I move states? I plan to go back to California. I plan to move back to California. Does that mess up anything that I have going on in Texas?
Well, there should be a residency restriction in this order, which would keep you from moving the child to California. You can move anywhere you want, but the child is going to be restricted to Dallas and the contiguous counties unless you ask Mr. Armand for permission to move the child to California.
I don't have that restriction. They said because Mr. Orman lives in Mississippi.
Oh, well, then you're right. You don't. You can move anywhere you want. And the child.
Right. So I plan on leaving.
See, that's the reason the judge said that she had to ask him, because at the time he thought that he resides in Texas. The guy resides in Mississippi. He don't even reside in Texas. And he basically stating that if he did reside in Texas, the child's mom cannot leave without his permission. Why? Because they have the joint conservator, which is what? Joint legal custody over what? The decisions of the child. So if the father say, well, the child cannot leave, then the child cannot leave. Why? Because they have joint legal custody. Just that simple. But let's continue.
California, I just hadn't told Mr. Orman yet, but I plan on moving back to California in November. So that's why I just said I don't want the child support, so I could just leave.
You can still get the child support and leave, and they'll send the child support to wherever you want it to go.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the temporary order had had just some initial periods of possession where Mr. Orman would just have possession of the child on the first weekend of the month. I don't know if you want to take testimony on the visitation issue. I haven't really dug into that.
Mr. Armand,
Sir,
when do you want to visit with this child?
every 2 weeks that I'm home,
How often are you home?
I'm home 2 weeks out of the month.
Okay. So you can get the child one weekend of each month, of any weekend of your choice.
Okay.
Did you guys hear that? This man said I'm off for 2 weekends straight. 2 weeks straight. He gonna get this man 1 weekend out of the whole month. And he's off 2 weeks straight. We're gonna get that man 1 weekend. Then he says, okay. Couldn't have been me. You see? That's what I'm telling you guys, man. Understand what's going on. Please understand what's going on. Let's continue though.
Just let Ms. Fuentes know when that's going to be.
But she's not leaving the state of Texas, correct?
She can still leave the state of Texas. He can visit with the child wherever you are, ma'am.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, but he can't take the child by himself back to Mississippi.
If he has a weekend. He can pick the child up on Friday, fly to Mississippi, visit with the child during the weekend, fly back on Sunday, and give the child back to you if that's what he wants to do.
Right.
But she's only a year old.
I understand. I'm sure that Mr.
Then can it be
Armand is-
contingent that he would have to give up his address of where he resides?
Yes, both of you have to give up your addresses as to where you reside.
He doesn't want to. He
Give your
has to
address.
share his primary residence. I
I'm
don't have
sorry.
Did you guys hear that? They both give their address of where they reside. Oh, we had some questions to talk about that question alone, that statement alone. He would have had a hard time in that courtroom asking me that question. He would have had a, man, you think he had gray hair now. He would have asked me that question about where you reside, man. He would have, hey, this guy probably would have had a heart attack on the stand. He wouldn't have, man, he wouldn't have had nowhere to go. Man, come on. But let's continue.
his dad's address.
You're breaking up and I can't hear you.
I
Mr.
can't
Armand.
understand him, Judge.
He's saying that I already have his address. The address I have on file is his dad's address. I just want it to be where I at least want to be able to speak to my child too. I give him the same respect of FaceTiming her while he's at work or why he has her. I want the same.
Well,
Do we
you
stipulate
know,
that?
I've been doing this a long time, probably almost 30 years. And I come to the conclusion I do not understand why people can make babies together, but then they can't work together after they have the baby.
What did he say?
Did you guys just hear this idiot? He gonna say why people can make babies together but can't work together after they had the baby. They just told you they worked together and they had an agreement. But now you're saying they can't work together. Again, the guy is trying to fabricate a controversy when there is none. And while he's doing that, they don't even see what's going on. Well, only thing she have to say is, I don't want your services. That's it. That's all you have to say, and it'll go away. That's it. Case dismissed. You're free to go. That's it. That's it, guys. That's all she had to say. Long story short, I don't want your services. That's all she had to say. Why? Because she don't want their services. They cannot force her to be a customer. They cannot force her to pay child support when the child is not receiving state benefits. In that case, every man with a child can be on child support. And it's just that simple, guys. But let's continue.
I don't know. I couldn't hear you.
What'd you say, Dale?
I said, Judge, that's the same thing I said.
But you're willing to work with Miss Fuentes, right? And to make sure y'all rear this child together?
Sir?
Okay.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Oh, you didn't hear me?
No, he couldn't hear you.
No, sir.
I would have said, you idiot. Didn't we just tell you we had an agreement prior to you saying all of this and trying to make us go against each other and forcing her to put me on some type of support? What are you talking about? You see? Hey, man, this brother Oman had a lot of patience, man. I'm telling you. But let's continue. Let's continue on, man. Let's continue.
What is the, is this a joint managing conservatorship or what is this? What kind of conservatorship do we have?
It's joint under the temporary orders.
Okay. That means that the two of you are supposed to work together to rear this child. You don't have to be in the same house. You don't have to be in the same state, but you do have to make decisions together to do what's best for your child.
You see what I mean? So they have joint legal custody, meaning decision making. That's it. Okay? My brother, if he wanted to see the child, he should have immediately argued for joint physical custody as well. But he not thinking at the time. For one, he's at work. He can't focus. He's on his line. Don't know what he's talking about. Don't know what he's doing. That's why, man, you got to understand, man. People got to get help, man. Understand what's going on. Understand. Study to show themselves approved. But let's continue.
If you can do that,
Yes, sir.
okay, then we don't have a problem. I need an order, Mr. Wright, finding, I'm to make the temporary order final with child support of $327 a month, cash medical $38 a month.
Hey, guys, did you all just see what just happened? Did you all just see how he got this man? He asked this man this question, and then right after he said, yes, sir, that was his form of agreement, and he entered the order in right after that. Let's go back and hear it.
Well,
Do we
you
stipulate
know,
that?
I've been doing this a long time, probably almost 30 years. And I come to the conclusion I do not understand why people can make babies together, but then they can't work together after they have the baby.
What did he say?
I don't know. I couldn't hear you.
Good. What'd you say, Dale?
I said, Judge, that's the same thing I said.
But you're willing to work with Miss Fuentes, right? And to make sure y'all rear this child together?
Sir?
Okay.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Oh, you didn't hear me?
No, he couldn't hear you.
No, sir.
Okay. What is the, is this a joint managing conservatorship or what is this? What kind of conservatorship do we have?
It's joint under the temporary orders.
Okay. That means that the two of you are supposed to work together to rear this child. You don't have to be in the same house. You don't have to be in the same state, but you do have to make decisions together to do what's best for your child. You believe the two of you can do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we don't have a problem. I need an order, Mr. Wright, finding, I'm to make the temporary order final with child support of $327 a month, cash medical $38 a month, joint managing conservatorship, standard visitation. Standard visitation won't really begin until a child is 3 years of age. And the reason I'm putting that in there is because then the child will be able to fly, all the other things necessary. Okay.
So until then, is it the same schedule?
So did you guys just see that? Did you guys just see what happened? The moment he said he agreed, the acting judge put a bogus order in against him, and he still didn't say anything about it. He's sitting back and allowing it to happen. It's crazy, man. This is sad. This is completely. This case is sad, man. Okay. For one, they got him off. They still got him paying Medicaid to the state when she just told this idiot, known as the judge, that the child is on her private insurance. You see? But in order for the state to stick their claws in, the state must provide some form of benefit. So they chose what? Insurance to put the clause in his back. When she should have said, no, again, we do not need your insurance, which does what? Remove the benefit. Once it removes the benefit, then guess what? It removes the controversy, it removes the jurisdiction of the court, and guess what? No support is owed, and they can still take care of their child the way they're supposed to, just between them two. Okay? And it's just that simple, guys. Pay attention to what's going on. Get this right wisdom, this right knowledge, and this right understanding so you all can have a chance in these courts. Because these guys are crooked. Everything they're doing is against the law. They don't follow their own rules. These people feel as though you guys don't have an understanding, so they're going to act as such because they know you guys don't. But let's continue.
Was under the temporary order.
Is that what's in the temporary order?
So the temporary order just says that he has the first weekend of each month, or from 9 a.m. Saturday to 7 p.m. Sunday.
But due to my work schedule, I would be at work on some first part of the month. So I agree with the judge and offered the first time.
What it is he can choose any weekend of the month. It does not have.
So he just did what? He stated again that he agreed to what the judge stated the first time. Brother, you are putting your own self on the hook. Okay? You're falling for debate. This judge ain't working with you or for you. He's clearly against you. But let's continue.
Weekend. He has one weekend per month of his choice. And then we'll go to a standard visitation arrangement when the child is 3 years of age.
And is that Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6?
Yes, Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6, or whatever the parties agree. A standard visitation arrangement allows the two of you to work out how y'all want the visitation to take place.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you're saying that he can have any weekend of the month to come get her right as we speak, but she cannot go to Mississippi.
I'm not saying she can't go. She can't go to Mississippi. I'm not saying that. I said he had one weekend.
Flying.
Yeah, he has.
Said no flying until she's 3, or no.
Okay. All right. Listen to Ms. Fuentes. He has the right to pick the child up on Friday, but he has to return the child on Sunday. If he want to drive back and kill himself, that's fine with that type of driving. That's a long drive. Or he can fly. But he has to have the child back by 6 o'clock on Sunday.
Okay, so what's standard visitation after she turns 3? What was that changed to?
Still, he'll have one weekend a month of his choice if y'all live over 100 miles away from each other. If you don't live over 100 miles away from each other, the standard visitation would mean that he'd get the first, third, and fifth weekends of each month from 6 o'clock on Friday until 6 o'clock on Sunday. He also gets 30 days in the summer, any 30 days of his choice. In the event he does not choose a particular 30 days, he gets the month of July. He gets alternating spring breaks. You get one spring break, he'll get the next spring break. And as it's set forth in the order, it'll tell you how the Christmas and Thanksgiving holidays will pan out.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Wright is...
You all can see the child mom does not like that at all. Okay? So right now in her mind, she's thinking, how can I get these people out of my life? Okay? If y'all know these individuals, right, and they're still going through what they're going through, have them contact me, man. Okay? Have them contact me. And it's just that simple. This is so easy to win. This case will be a breeze. This is so easy to win, man. Why? Because they already in agreement with each other. They just don't know how to enforce their agreement that they already have. Let's continue on, though.
A copy of the order as amended. And
And you said that we have 3 days to appeal the child support?
yes, sir. You have 3 days to appeal the entire order if you so desire. This is the 255th court. You have 3 working days in which to appeal to that court. That court will give you what's called a trial de novo. They'll let you tell the story over again. And then then that court will make an independent decision as to what it believes is fair and just. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. We appreciate y'all's time.
Especially Texas, man. Hey, y'all know me in Texas, man. I like to hand Texas there, but, man, they supposed to be the hardest state to deal with in child support. But that's the state I got the most remedy out of. I got more Texas testimonies than any other state, and it's crazy. And we got more to come. I got another testimony coming out of New York. It's about to be crazy, guys. We got the order. I just wait for my aunt to go up there get the file stamp copy, so it won't be no discrepancy. Say, there's no file stamps on it. I'm gonna show y'all the file stamp documents, like all my documents, so y'all can see that we continue to apply pressure. But look, man, don't end up like this. Y'all have to study, understand what's going on, fight for your freedom. All right. But that's all I'm gonna do for today. You all be blessed out there. Let's get this right wisdom, this right knowledge, this right understanding. If you all need my help, hit me up at my email at y'allismagnified@gmail.com. With that being said, you all be blessed, and I say shalom.